All right, Americans earning six figures or more a year have kept consumer spending strong, but there are some increasing signs that upper-income consumers may be pulling back on their spending and investing. Sharon Epperson joins us right now. She's got more on where these signs for stress are for the high earners. What are you seeing, Sharon?
Well, what we're seeing is new research showing that upper-income earners are reacting most negatively to the new U.S. tariffs. Researchers at Bain & Company say the consumer outlook score for upper-income Americans earning $100,000 a year or more had its sharpest drop in April, and it is near its lowest level in 7 years. With the sharp slide in the S&P 500 since President Trump took office, researchers say that's a major reason for the decline in the consumer outlook among high earners. Upper-income earners represent a disproportionate share of U.S. spending and more than 50% of discretionary spending. Now, a separate report finds about two-thirds of upper-income earners, 67%, say they are stressed about their finances, and that's according to the CNBC SurveyMonkey Your Money poll. More than 1,700 U.S. adults with annual incomes of $100,000 or higher were surveyed the first week of April, and 69% say tariffs are causing them financial stress. As a result of tariff news, one-third, 33%, say they have delayed or avoided purchases, and 14% say they've stocked up. About half, 52%, have made no changes. Now, Bain's data shows that extremely negative outlook for upper-income earners, that researchers say if high earners pull back spending, that will put pressure on the U.S. economy. Now, to help improve your spending and investing outlook, subscribe to my free Money 101 newsletter series. You can scan the QR code right there or go to cnbc.com/money101 to sign up. It's also available in Spanish at cnbc.com/dinero101.
You know, 100,000 or more. How much do you have to make to be considered upper income? Because the Pew Research Center was saying something more like $170,000 a few years ago. I would imagine that there's a pretty sharp divergence between 100,000, 150,000, and then those who are in the top 1%.
Yes. So the CNBC Your Money survey looked at 100,000 and higher. Bain & Company also is looking at that number. That's just the number that they're looking at. But what's interesting is how many more people with that income level compared to those who are 50 to 100,000 or 50,000 or less are now saying that tariffs are negatively impacting their finances.
Yeah, it's hugely regressive for people who are spending most of their money on a week-by-week or month-by-month basis on their essentials. What's the longer-term outlook for some of these high-income earners?
Well, I think one of the things that they're looking at is the impact on their investments, whether or not they're deciding to move their investments or stay put. I think a greater number of people with incomes over $100,000, at least according to the CNBC SurveyMonkey survey, are staying put with their investments as opposed to making big changes. But there are still a number of folks doing that longer term. The other thing that's interesting is how many people believe that we are headed for a recession. And so that number continues to be, nearly three-quarters of Americans saying that, and according to that poll.
And,
so
and
that's something
you start to wonder when that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
When Americans, consumers or businesses start to think it's coming.
Exactly. And again, these are folks with the most discretionary income. What they're seeing in middle and lower income is middle income are using a little bit more debt, but lower income are saying we're going to be able to be okay because we're going to use debt to finance everything. That's very scary.
Wow.